Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. It's Cody, Gotham's Capes Crusader. We're keeping it geekly. Yes, this is your number one stop for all things geek culture, from comic books to video games and so much more. And man, oh man, am I excited, because not only do we have some awesome DC comics right off the press, but some heavy-hitting news, and to top it off, it is 4th of July. So I'm looking forward to some awesome fireworks with my friends and families later on in the evening. I hope you all have a safe and awesome 4th of July yourselves, and remember, don't drink and drive. Use your head. If you've drank even just a little bit of alcohol, reach out and call someone to come pick you up. The first thing on our radar this evening is DC bringing back Batman Beyond, and I cannot tell you, the inner child within me is screaming right now. So it looks like Batman Beyond is coming back to DC Comics, and overall it is going to make a pretty big impact. It looks like the story is coming from Star Trek Year 5 writing duo Jackson Lanzig and Colin Kelly. It looks like it's occurring as part of an ongoing anthology series, Batman Urban Legends, and yeah, it's going to be a 30-page cyberpunk mystery. Lanzig was quoted making pretty big emphasis on how much Terry McGinnis meant to him and how much of an impact he had on him growing up watching the animated series. So the duo made it pretty clear they are planning to alter Batman Beyond in some significant ways and change Neo Gotham forever. So that is some pretty big words to live up to, and man, DC Comics looks like it's just going to be on fire within the next couple of years to come. Now, maybe I'm a little bit biased. Outside of the cinematic movies, the animated series and Batman Beyond comics is really what developed my love for Batman as a kid growing up. Now, on to our ongoing coverage of Transformers Rise of the Beast. It looks like Ron Perlman has been selected as the voice of Optimus Primal. In an exclusive article, it looks like Collider has officially confirmed that Ron Perlman has been tapped to voice Optimus Primal in the next upcoming Transformers movie. To add on to this, it looks like Peter Cullen, the voice of the original Optimus Prime, will return, and the movie plot will reveal why the Cybertrons had connection to Earth and humanity. It looks like rising stars are going to be joining the cast, such as Anthony Ramos, Dominique Fishback, and even Stephen Caple Jr. So things are looking on the up and up for this movie, and the hype is just overall building more and more as news starts to leak out. Another article of news that I'm a little bit more biased on, Transformers Rise of the Beast, is something I am really anticipating growing up on Transformers Beast Wars. This is something that is just hitting the sweet tooth a little too hard. So on to our last piece of news. It looks like the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster series is finally getting a launch date, and that's going to be the first 3 titles releasing on July 28th. It looks like Square Enix has opened up the Steam pages for the upcoming Pixel Remaster releases of the first 6 Final Fantasy titles. Now with this tidbit, it looks like we also do get a price tag on the first 3 titles, with the first one being priced at $11.99, the second one priced at $11.99, and the third one priced at $17.99. All will have a 20% discount until August 11th. Now, being a Final Fantasy fanatic, I'm pretty excited to see this update happen. 75 isn't too bad. I can see where some people might be a little bit upset with that, but to keep in mind, this is totally remastered with the audio and the picture, so not too bad of a price in my books. With that being said, that is going to wrap up This Week in Geek, but stay tuned. We have those fresh pulls coming right out the oven. All right, first things first, we're going to be hitting you with Catwoman 2021 Annual Issue Number 1, written by Ram V, with art being done by Fernando Blanco and Kyle Hott. This issue begins with Father Valley narrating his ritual before flogging himself, just as Selena finds out that she's on his hit list. This leads us through the valley with Azrael slaughtering a group of criminals and destroying all evidence, and just this splendid explosion. It was a really grotesque and just brutal assault. Now we find out that the files that they stole from Tangier was actually dirt on their operation, and it was being forwarded to the Minister of Intelligence to actually put their Order of St. Dumas as an extremist terrorist group. Now, this prompts Ariel to order Azrael to burn the forest, aka kill their own people, and even the young students that they were teaching. And we bear witness to the systematic killing of his people until he reaches his own son. And that's when his son Carl chooses to take his own life. But Carl doesn't die. And this leads us back to Father Valley reminiscing on it, because he's actually the person who was meant to be killed by Azrael. So I thought that was a nice little tie-in right there. Now we see Father Valley and Azrael go head to head. And while Carl has the killing blow, he walks away with a new identity. And things are not looking good for Catwoman whatsoever. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while since I read any Catwoman, so this issue really just took my expectations and threw them out the window, and holy crap, am I sucked in. Now, this is going to take us back to a series we were covering previously a couple podcasts ago, Infinite Frontier Secret Files, issue number 6, written by Dan Waiters, with art being done by Christopher Mitten. Now, this story starts off following a gentleman looking for the lonely man. This leads us into the third question. Now, come to find out, this lonely man is none other than Roger Hayden, aka the Psycho Pirate. And this gentleman wants to wear his mask and answer 3 of his questions to pretty much gain a share of his power, which is rumored to have no limit. Now, we aren't really told what happens if they answer wrong. Besides, they aren't ever seen again. And so the 3 questions go. What can we know? What is real? And who are you? First 2 of them were answered correctly, and the third, well, not so much. And after this third question, we see that the Psycho Pirate's actually teleported somewhere crazy, and someone out of this world is going to make him an offer that he simply can't refuse. And this might shake up the DC universe, because only time will tell what this person wants. Now, as I stated, this partnership is definitely not looking too good, and it is only going to spell trouble for planet Earth. And this is going to lead us to our last issue of the week, which is going to be Teen Titan Academy 2021 Yearbook issue number 1, written by Tim Sheridan, with art being done by Marco Santucci and Darko Lafuente. This issue is more or less a recap and provides some fleshed out character building. The first character that we come across is the mysterious Stitch in A Stitch in Time. Now, this begins with some rather depressing narration from Stitch on how they basically are just a magical animated rag, a sorcerer's apprentice ragged out in their dream of being a hero and part of a team. We see over the course of several panels how they basically are just non-existent to the students at the Teen Titan Academy, and just how they really aren't acknowledged very much. Now, there was a scuffle between 2 students that caused part of the gymnasium to fall apart, and this is where Stitch really shines, because he comes to save the day, and everybody is just up in arms about how awesome Stitch is after this event. This not only catapults him into the race for class president, but he gets a visit from his dad, and come to find out he is fated to be class president. So his dad, it was someone who blew me away, and I was not expecting that whatsoever. 5 more minutes gives us a more fleshed out and deeper dive into Raven and Beast Boy's relationship, and it gives us a chance to see that horrible vision she has of Beast Boy and Cyborg. Mothers, Brothers, Kittens, and Cake dives into Matt Price battling a huge fire and diving into a family moment. And at last we have Extriction, and this is the one that really is the icing on the cake. We come across this foster parent abuse system where these foster parents are taking children and they are grooming them to be henchmen for Black Mask. We see Red X learn of this, and in a pretty graphic manner, he busts through the door and rescues the children. One of them has no father or mother to run to, so he decides to stay with Red X. And this is what possibly gives us the origin of the new Red X at the Teen Titan Academy. So like I said, that Teen Titan Academy yearbook really just fleshed out some character development for me, and it left me just screaming for more. I can't wait to read the next Teen Titan Academy issue and see what happens with Red X. Now, with that being said, that does wrap up today's podcast. You could always catch me on my respective social media platforms at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and so much more at Job for a Cody. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that big red subscription button and turn on notifications to be alerted anytime I drop more content. As always, guys, keep it geekly.